want you to please respond to this question. What is the APC political ideology? I want you to come from the, dialectical underpinning that actually shows the, I don't know, because most people ask this question. I don't know the academic definition of what APC stands for. If it's right, left, center, liberal, whatever that is. So you can help us here, please. Professor, you can, let me spotlight you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. I don't know that I will be asked to make a comment. All the same, I listened to the last speaker, and I think he was quite clear about his analysis. The APC, to answer your question, is supposed to, we call it All Progressives Congress. So that should tell you that it's supposed to be on the left, to follow his basic classification. I refer to the last speaker. So, but the reality is that the party that is supposed to be on the left, by way of its manifesto, restructuring is there. Restructuring actually is the core manifesto of the APC, which means that the party agrees that there are structural ailments afflicting the Nigerian polity and state, and it seeks to undertake the curative process of the structural maladies. But unfortunately, it appears we have a president who is a conservative, and not just an ordinary conservative, a hyper-conservative person sitting atop what's supposed to be a progressive left of the center party. The APC is not altogether leftist, but I just wanted to follow the simple classification the last speaker gave. It's more of both APC and PDP, they are centrist in nature, but it's just that one appears to be tilting more to the left. APC has some welfarist agenda, conditional cash transfer to the poorest of the poor. You've seen the Empower program, you've seen the Trader Money program meant to give microcredit to the very poor artisans and petty traders. So those are some of the things the party has done, notwithstanding that can, attest to the fact that this is ideological leaning. But the fundamental things are not being allowed to be carried out by the president. The party set up a committee to look into the restructuring agenda of the party. They were headed by Governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, under the past chairman of the APC, national chairman, Chief John Odudua. The party submitted its report, but till today, the president has refused to touch it. In fact, in his New Year address in 2018, he actually gave some knocks to those clamoring for restructuring. So that is that. And in terms of the way politics is played within the party, you will also see a trend whereby what the last speaker says appears to hold true. The goal seems not to be execution of any manifesto, but power. And this power is also being exercised with impunity. I make specific reference to the governorship debacle in Edo State. I live and work in one of the universities here. The present governor, to all intents and purposes, you can do your public opinion survey. I'm not from this state. Is refreshingly different from the past. Is indeed very progressive. Is a performing governor. But because of some internal schisms, those who feel maybe they are not being compensated enough in their own understanding of compensation, the man who is supposed to be the defender of the, the good name of the party and the ideology of the party is actually the one that led the jackals that pushed the governor out of the party. So for now, APC is like it's not a party in an organic sense. It's just a platform for those who are seeking power for their own purposes, not to serve the public. And when it appears it's not delivering, they opt out of it. So, and that is why I foresee a situation where before 2023, what I'm saying is that you may still have a 2014 scenario whereby a new party will emerge. Those who are pursuing their ambition within the APC to be president versus one another, and one side seems to be gaining the upper hand. Those who think they are on the losing side will then leave the party en masse, align with people of like minds elsewhere, and then we may have a new party. So for now, the onus is on the civil society groups to hold the various political parties accountable to whatever promises they have in their manifesto.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, to do a review, take stock and say, after 4 years, it appears you have done well in line with this, because your manifesto is your pact with the people. Or to say you have failed woefully. Until we have, because I just need to make this clarification. When you interviewed me the last time, I tried to make this point. Political parties are not the only engines that drive a democracy, especially when you talk of good governance. You need political groups that will organize protests. Otherwise, you will not have good governance, you won't have accountable leadership. It is when those who are in power are being benchmarked and pressure is mounted on them, the people are on the streets. We need good roads. People are dying on our roads. We need jobs. Give us jobs. What did you do with our budget? That is when serious-minded people will get attracted by our politics, because the political space will have become too hot for charlatans in that kind of milieu. And that is when you will begin to see a clear distillation of ideological groupings and camps in our political arena. For now, the civil society, the voters themselves, they are too docile. And one other problem is the ethno-religious and geopolitical divide in the country. If the Southwest people are rooting for something, it is easy to condemn it in the North, like the restructuring clamor now. It appears the posture of most of the elites in the North is as if it was just a Southwest agenda that they tried to tolerate because they wanted power. And now that they've gotten power, they turn their back on it. When you continue to play that kind of politics, we will not be able to forge a nationalist vanguard that would, mobilize the country as a collective to towards progressive politics.
Okay. So thank
what
you.
we have as division and ethnic picking, and only God can help Nigeria, because I don't know for how long we are going to survive that kind of politics.
Thank you, Prof. Yes, thank you very much for that clarification. And obviously, you mentioned that the APC is a progressive left, and that the president within the progressive left is hyper-conservative. So
yes.
at the same time, you said that it's a welfarist party. And one would then wonder, is welfarism within the APC something that is being driven by the party or the president? If it is the party, why would they drive welfare at the same time leaving restructuring that they promised? I mean, it's are they cherry picking on their promises now? Anyway, let's not probably get much into that now. I would, we would start taking questions, take questions from people regarding the two submissions that we have had now. So that would help us to progress. So if you have a question, you can raise up your hand. And at the same time, if it's possible, okay, I have a Comrade Obinna already. Comrade Obinna, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Thank you. You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I've done that. Can you hear me?
Yes, now, yes.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I somehow tend to disagree to a very large extent with some of the issues the speakers have raised. For instance, you see, APC as a party came up, number one, to secure power away from the drifting malaise we found ourselves as a nation at that point in time. Now, I would disagree entirely and violently, with all due respect, on putting any conservative togger on President Muhammad Buhari. Most of us aligned with him because of his progressive and welfarist inclinations, which you, Mazi Tochukwu, have found as a disparity, trying to bring conservatism into his ideological leaning. But the problem that has held back APC as a party is what we have all identified at this point in time, which is people always come together. Strength-based followers always come together. Let us all secure power. We sort things out later on. APC, even its manifesto, without even the promises that Mazi Tochukwu has highlighted, APC, even by its manifesto, stricto sensu, actually directs for devolution of powers, actually that dictates for welfarist programs, that is getting power back to the people. So, there can never be a progressive conservatism. Most of us, Buhari as a person, came into a situation, and of course, they having dined and wined with certain situations, it has held his progressive inclination and drive, and of course, certain level of challenges faced by him personally, by the structure that he allowed to.
Comrade Obinna, can you please round up quickly?
Yeah, that he allowed to come up around him. So, I just needed to point out that progressive conservatism is not something that we in the progressive school of thought and activism will try to subscribe to with the person of the PNB and APC. Thank you very much.